Welcome back to Living Inspired with Autism. I'm your host, Antoinette, and if you're new here, this is where we talk about creating a life of joy, purpose, and deep connection while on this beautiful journey of raising an autistic child. And today, I want to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you about something that might feel uncomfortable at first, but I promise you, by the end of the episode, you're going to see it as one of the most loving gifts you could give yourself and your child. We're talking about coaching. Specifically, why investing in coaching as an autism parent isn't just helpful, it's transformational. And why choosing not to invest might be doing a disservice to both you and your precious child. No, this might sound strong, but I have walked this path. I've lived in overwhelm, the uncertainty, the endless Googling at 2 a.m., wondering if I'm doing everything wrong. And I've also experienced the profound shift that happens when you stopped trying to figure it all out alone. So grab your coffee, find a comfortable spot, and let's dive into why coaching isn't a luxury for autism parents, it's a necessity. Let me start by painting a picture I know you'll recognize. It's Tuesday morning, your kiddo has a meltdown because the cereal box is a different color than yesterday's. You're already running late for an appointment that you've had to reschedule twice already. Your partner texts you about dinner plans while you're still trying to process what went wrong with breakfast. You feel that familiar knot in your stomach. Am I doing this right? Am I enough? Why does everything feel so hard? Later that night, after your kiddo is finally asleep, you find yourself scrolling through Facebook groups, reading conflicting advice about sensory diets and therapy approaches. You bookmark 17 articles you will never have the time to read, and you fall asleep feeling more confused than when you started. Sound familiar? This isn't your fault. This is overwhelm, this constant second guessing, this feeling like you're drowning in information but starving for clarity. This is what happens when we try to navigate one of life's most complex journeys completely alone. The truth is, parenting an autistic child requires skills that they don't teach in parenting books. It requires emotional regulation techniques, sensory understanding, advocacy skills, and most importantly, it requires you to become incredibly clear about who you are and what you believe about your child's potential. You can't Google your way to try and find that kind of clarity. You can't find that transformation in a Facebook group. That kind of deep, lasting change, that comes from relationship, from being seen, heard, and guided by someone who understands not just autism, but who understands you. And that is where coaching comes in. When I tell people I'm a coach for autism parents, I often see this look of like complete confusion. It's like, what exactly do you do? They ask. Here's what coaching isn't. It's not therapy, though it can be healing. It's not consulting, though you'll gain incredible insight. It's not cheerleading, though you'll feel more supported than you have in years. Coaching is something much more profound. It's the art of helping you access the wisdom that's already inside of you, but that just gets buried under overwhelm and fear and the noise of everyone else's opinions. Think of it this way. You know that moment when you're trying to remember a word and it's right there on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't quite grasp it? And then someone says just the right thing, asks just the right question, and suddenly there it is, clear as day. That's what coaching does for your entire approach to parenting and living. A coach sees who you're becoming long before you believe it. When you're drowning in doubt, your coach is holding the vision of your strength. When you can't see past today's meltdown, your coach helps you remember the bigger picture. The magic, though, and this is what makes coaching so different from other forms of support. A coach doesn't just guide you to what to do, they help you hear your own wisdom more clearly. So let me give you a real example. I was working with a mom whose son had started hitting when he got overwhelmed, and she tried everything: visual schedules, sensory breaks, behavior charts, the whole 9 yards. Nothing was working, and she felt like a failure, and she was so frustrated. Instead of giving her another strategy to try, I asked her one simple question: when do you hit your limit? The silence that followed? Because in that moment, she realized something incredible. Her son wasn't being difficult. He was being human. He was communicating the only way he knew how, that he'd reached his capacity. That one shift in perspective changed everything for her. Not because I gave her the information, but because I helped her access her own deep knowing about her child. See, coaching isn't about getting more information. If information was enough, hello, we'd all be perfect parents, right? We'd all be rich and happy and completely fulfilled, and there'll be nothing wrong in our lives. Coaching is about transformation. It's about helping you bridge the gap between knowing better and doing better, between understanding your child's needs and actually meeting them with presence and peace. It's about turning insight into action and overwhelm into empowerment. Okay, so now let's talk about what coaching specifically offers you as an autism parent, because your needs are unique. First, coaching creates emotional stability in your home. When you're regulated, your child feels safe. When you're calm, your child can be calm. One of the most powerful gifts you can give an autistic child is a parent who isn't constantly in fight or flight mode. Coaching helps you to develop the tools to stay grounded when everything around you feels chaotic. It's about becoming a Zen master overnight. It's not becoming a Zen master, although it feels like it. It's about learning to breathe and pause and choose your response instead of just reacting. Second, coaching helps you trust your instincts again. I can't tell you how many parents come to me saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't trust myself anymore. And this breaks my heart, because you are the expert on your child. Yes, therapists and doctors have valuable knowledge, but no one knows your child's heart like you do. No one has spent the hours that you have observing and loving and learning their unique language. Coaching helps you to remember that. It helps you separate other people's opinions from your own deep knowing. It helps you become the confident advocate that your kiddo needs. Third, coaching creates structure without the rigidity. Autistic children thrive on routine and predictability, but life is beautifully unpredictable. Coaching helps you to create frameworks that can bend without breaking, systems that support your family's unique rhythm while still leaving room for spontaneity and joy. Fourth, coaching addresses the guilt. Oh, the guilt. The guilt about not doing enough, the guilt about wanting a life outside of autism, the guilt about feeling overwhelmed, the guilt about not enjoying every moment. Coaching creates a space where you can be honest about all of it, where you can feel your feelings without judgment, where you can want more for your life without that meaning you love your child any less. Fifth, coaching helps you see beyond survival mode. When you're constantly putting out fires, it's hard to think about dreams, goals, or even your joy. Coaching helps lift your head up from the daily chaos and remember, you're not just surviving this life, you're creating it. And I've seen this happen again and again. When a parent shifts from surviving to thriving, their child feels it. When a parent stops fighting autism and starts flowing with it, the whole family transforms. I worked with a mom who told me about 6 months into our work together, my son is the same child he's always been, but I'm not the same mother. And somehow that's changed everything. That's the power of coaching. It doesn't change your child. Your child is already perfect exactly the way they are, but it changes you. And when you change, everything changes. 6, coaching gives you the tools that work in real life. Not theoretical tools, not perfect world strategies, real, practical, immediately applicable tools that work on Tuesday morning when the cereal box is the wrong color and you're already running late. Tools for emotional regulation, tools for creating calm, tools for building connection, tools for advocating powerfully, tools for maintaining your own well-being while caring for your kiddos' needs. And finally, coaching creates lasting change. This isn't a band-aid solution. This isn't about managing or coping. This is about fundamentally shifting the patterns that keep you stuck. It's about changing the inner dialogue that keeps you small. It's about stepping into the parent and the man or woman that you were always meant to be. Now, I want to talk about something that might be hard to hear, but it comes from a place of love and deep understanding of this journey. Not investing in coaching as an autism parent isn't just missing an opportunity. It's actually doing a disservice to both you and your baby. Let me explain what I mean. First is the cost of staying stuck. When you continue to operate from overwhelm, reactivity, and uncertainty, everyone in your family pays the price. Your stress becomes their stress. Your doubt becomes their insecurity. Your emotional dysregulation teaches them that the world isn't safe. I'm not saying this to make you feel guilty. I'm saying it because I care about you and your family way too much to pretend that staying in survival mode doesn't have consequences. Second, the missed moments. Every day you spend drowning in overwhelm is a day you're not fully present with your child. Every moment you spend second-guessing yourself is a moment you're not trusting the beautiful intuition that chose you to be this child's parent. These moments matter. Your kiddo's childhood is happening right now, and you deserve to enjoy it. Not every moment, let's be realistic, but you deserve to find joy, connection, and peace on this journey. Third, the modeling. Your child is watching everything. They're learning about resilience from how you handle challenges. They're learning about self-worth from how you treat yourself. They're learning about possibility from what you believe about your own life. When you invest in yourself, when you prioritize your growth and well-being, you are teaching your kiddo something invaluable. they are worth investing into. That growth is always possible. That asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Fourth, the ripple effect. The patterns you don't heal in yourself, you're going to pass down. The emotional regulation skills you don't develop, your child doesn't learn. The confidence that you don't cultivate, your child doesn't see modeled. But the beautiful flip side is every breakthrough you have creates space for your child's breakthrough. Every moment of calm that you cultivate creates safety for their nervous system. Every boundary you set teaches them that they have a right to boundaries too. And finally, the lifetime cost. The skills that you don't develop now, you'll need later. The confidence that you're not building today, you're going to wish you had when your child is a teenager. The emotional stability that you don't create in these early years compounds into chaos or peace for decades to come. This isn't just about getting through the next meltdown or the next IEP meeting or the next disaster. This is about the trajectory of your entire family's life. And I know it can feel scary to invest in yourself. I know it can feel selfish, but I want you to consider this. The most generous thing that you can do for your child is become the healthiest, most grounded, most confident version of yourself. Because that version of you, she's the mother and father your child has been waiting for. I want to end today by talking about return on investment, because investing in coaching isn't just an expense. It's an investment that pays dividends for the rest of your life. Think about what you typically spend money on. Clothes that you'll eventually donate, subscriptions that you barely use, courses that you never finish, therapies that help for a season but don't create lasting change. Now think about this. What if you invested in something that would improve every area of your life for the rest of your life? That's what coaching offers. When you work with a coach, you're not just getting support for your current challenges, you're developing skills that will serve you forever. Emotional regulation, clear communication, boundary setting, trusting in your own wisdom, the ability to stay calm in chaos. These skills don't just help with autism parenting. They transform how you show up in your marriage, your friendships, your work, and your dreams. I had one client tell me, I came for help with my son's meltdowns, but I got a whole new life. And that's not unusual. That's what happens when you invest in transformation instead of just information. And the most beautiful part, it's not just about you. Every skill you develop, every breakthrough you have, every moment of peace you create, it all flows to your child. Your emotional regulation becomes their safety. Your confidence becomes their security. Your joy becomes their permission to be happy too. You're not just investing in coaching, you're investing in your child's emotional development, their sense of safety in the world, their belief in their own potential. You're investing in breaking generational patterns of anxiety and overwhelm and self-doubt. You're investing in creating a legacy of resilience and joy and deep connection. If that's not the best investment you can ever make, I don't know what is. Beautiful listener, if you've made it this far, I want you to know something. You are exactly the parent that your child needs. Not perfect, not without struggles, but exactly right. and you deserve support. You deserve to feel confident, calm, and clear in your role. You deserve to enjoy this journey, even when it's hard. If anything, our share today has resonated with you. If you're feeling that little flutter of possibility in your chest, I want to invite you to take the next step. Don't wait until you feel more overwhelmed. Don't wait until the next crisis. Don't wait until you feel ready, because beautiful truth, none of us are ever completely ready for transformation. But you are worthy of it right now, exactly as you are. Your kiddo is watching, your family is waiting, and the most confident, peaceful, joyful version of yourself, she's ready to emerge. The question isn't whether you need support. Every autism parent does. The question is, are you ready to give yourself permission to receive it? I hope you are, because you deserve nothing less than to live this life fully, love deeply, and parent boldly without sacrificing yourself in the process. Until next time, my friends, keep living inspired.